Good evening, 101. Welcome to the Benfica versus Arsenal game. Europa League match is just about to start. Uh, Completely excited with the game. So far, I'm here on my own just for now, but I'm going to keep you guys posted on how the game is going to go, giving you commentary and otherwise. Um, Looking at the team sheet on who's starting for Arsenal, it is virtually a completely it's the same side as it was under Leeds, which I'm incredibly surprised. Hey, Cool K, what's up? You said very disappointed in our Arteta's team selection. What this is going to do for Pepe's confidence? I mean, possibly, but you have to understand, like, this is a massive game for Arsenal right now. Um, you just have to see that this game against Benfica, if we don't win, or at least get like a really good result, get some goals out of this, we'll be out of the Europa League. And for me, it's probably the only way we're going to be able to get Champions League football, because next season, with how it looks in the Premier League, it's going to be even more difficult. But if you like looking at this Arsenal lineup right now, completely unchanged. Aubameyang's there, Odegaard, Saka, and if you love the way how we played against Leeds, then you're definitely going to love the way how we're going to play tonight. And I'm expecting to see exactly what we saw against Leeds, against Benfica. I'll say that for sure. Hey Greg, how you doing? What's up, Fabrice? Yep, massive game. What's going on, Mark?
Just trying to get myself set up. I'm not getting audio to my earpieces, so I'm just trying to sort that out.
No worries. I mean, I can hear you. Just let me know if you're able to hear me or not.
Hey Mark.
What's up, Tony?
Hey Nyomis, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm excited. Like,
Okay.
Arteta means business. Arteta
Come on,
definitely
you
means.
Gunners.
Well, things have just kicked off. I don't know you guys' streams or if you're watching it live on
So I'm
BT
on my
Sport 2.
IPTV. It's clearly not as fast as yours, so I'm already still waiting for them to kick off. So
Okay. Like, literally,
Yeah.
I'm about 18 seconds in. That's
TC's always about somewhere between 45 and a
minute
minute
behind.
behind.
Yeah.
uh,
Why have we got
It's
two
all Arsenal at the
goalkeepers on
moment.
the bench again?
but don't you
Good
think that?
question.
But don't you think that like the unchanged lineup is that Arteta's taken this really seriously? Because I thought he would have made like at least half of changes.
You know what? I think this is the gap between the games has given him the opportunity to play a strong team.
Yeah,
Because when you think about it, we had a decent gap between the last game and this game. If we can go and get this game out of the, blow this one out of the water by half time, we can rest players in preparation for Sunday.
that's true. That's true.
I think, play your best 11 to start the game at least. If you're 3 or 4 nil up at half time or 3-0 up, you can rest players.
I
It's
completely
not
agree.
a best 11. Tierney's on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My stream is so far behind. I can't believe I haven't even
Have you
kicked
kicked
off
off?
yet.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have.
yeah, we've kicked off. What's up, Ebony?
Yeah.
Hi,
Mine just went
guys.
backwards on itself.
Yeah, no. I know we've kicked off everybody. I've just meant for TC because he's away behind. Aubameyang flagged offside. Ooh, that was tight. I'm not convinced on that one. It's a very late flag.
It was a good
Oh,
one.
was
It
that
was a good attempt.
Are you started yet, Tony? Let
Yeah,
us know when you're.
I've got a different channel. I'm now at 2 minutes in.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. So you're near where we are. Okay.
You're
two
all
minutes.
ahead of me now. I'm at 1 minute 40.
Okay, you're about
Um,
30 seconds behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the team sheet. I'm pretty happy with it.
2 minutes
I just
10.
wish that Tierney was there now
Yeah.
on the pitch.
I'm happy that he's being rested, in all honesty.
Yeah. And I'm actually quite happy that Partey hasn't gone on the trip because he needs a rest.
Yeah, he's out for 6 weeks.
Ooh.
We'll be all right. We'll be fine.
Aubameyang flagged offside again. Second time, he's definitely onside.
Yeah, he looks
VAR
onside
doesn't
on that
get involved.
second one again. Because
He's clearly onside on the second one.
Like he's onside when he touches the ball, when the ball's headed. So once again, guys, we're going to be looking at the performance of Xhaka and Ceballos is going to be key today. Who have you guys marked out as being your players of great importance?
I think it's just the usual Saka for me. If Saka's ticking, then this team ticks. Also Aubameyang. I mean, I think with this formation, it's just designed for him to score goals. So hopefully he'll put away a couple and we can leave Benfica in a good place, at least with a 2-goal difference.
And here's the first foul against Saka.
Yeah, that foul wasn't good.
It won't be the last one. Picks it up, steps away from Vertonghen, who just takes him down cynically.
Yeah, he would go and foul us. First foul of the game.
I'd like to see Odegaard get even more involved. I don't think he had a bad game at all, but I'd like to see some of these classy touches in more advanced positions. I'd like to see him creating a couple of the chances tonight. It's not finishing one or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, I said if he could leave, like at the end of the season, if he could get like 2 goals, 2 assists in half a season, I think as a bare minimum, I think that should be at least the benchmark. Which, for when you're looking at the name, like he should be able to do that. So
I'll be disappointed if we doesn't get half a dozen assists. To be honest with you,
really,
that's what would be. That would be assuming he's going to keep playing. Obviously, if he doesn't feature regularly, it's a different matter. But if he's going to feature in, 5 out of 6 games, play 70 to 90 minutes, then I would want to see. Yeah, I would say 6 would be a good return.
Yeah.
And that's another. Oh, you're having a laugh. Not a foul, they say, because Saka moves the ball away from the defender and let the tackle come in. Well, he attempts to play the ball, doesn't play the ball, plays the man. It must be a free kick, but it's not given.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Mark.
I mean, Benfica are they've got 5 defenders back there.
Well, looking at it now, it looks like
Bellerin's in a great position.
Come on, Bellerin.
To cut it back, and the cross is cut out by Vertonghen. I'm wondering how many times that name Vertonghen is going to come up in this game. If he has a great game, it could be a challenging one for us.
Yeah, when I was looking at the preview of the game, when you look at some of the Benfica players, I mean, there's some real quality in that side. A lot of names that we know about. So I think they've got Otamendi there, Rafa Silva, and then their striker was it Darwin Núñez. He's someone that we gotta watch out for.
Yeah, I think the ideas of trying to win this in the first half are nice, but.
Yeah.
It would be surprising if we make a similar start to the one we made against Leeds. If I'm honest, this is a better balanced team.
Are you surprised that he's gone with the same lineup, or not the one that's kind of been more tried and tested with Lacazette, maybe Aubameyang on the left?
Yeah, I think a few players. Lacazette has a right to feel a bit disappointed. Pepe's got a right to feel a bit disappointed. But offensively, the players that he started did a very good job. So I guess, the only reason I think they probably feel disappointed is because the expectation has become that we will rotate. And, today we haven't, which would have surprised some people. But there was also a lot of people very unhappy with the rotation that we had around the Southampton game in particular. Although it turned out that a lot of what people were unhappy about were actually injuries that people hadn't realised were injuries. So, it's all well and good people saying, oh, Tierney should have played. Well, Tierney didn't play for another 2 or 3 games after that. And even when he did, he came back and got injured again. So,
Thanks,
yeah,
I'll just shout a bit
Well,
louder.
Another foul from a ex-Tottenham player. There's going to be a few of those. Adel Taarabt gives away a foul. This time
I forgot he used to play for Tottenham.
Ceballos.
Yeah. Come on, these European referees have got to be better than the ones we have.
I'm not keen on this
Offside.
linesman, but this time he is right. He is offside, just I think. The referee's assistant should have stayed with his flag up, so they knew where to take the free kick from. But yeah, they don't do that anymore, so nobody knows. Ooh, Xhaka attempts to take the ball and doesn't take it. That could have bounced very, very differently.
Oh, Granite.
Neat touch from Saka. Found Odegaard. Ooh, Xhaka
nice
tries to find the ball through to Saka, which would have really, really put him into a very good position. But I suspect that was Vertonghen again.
No.
It's good that Xhaka Granite is looking forward.
Yeah. Right, this is in the game for sideways, backwards. Hey, 18.
Good evening, whoever's watching. I can see that our illustrious leader is putting up the signs, telling people to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. You can follow this on YouTube. And if you're on the Facebook group, you can also follow it in the 101 Facebook group. There's generally speaking, we're a good-natured bunch in the Facebook group as well. There's been a little bit of negativity around recently, but we need Tom back. We need more Tom Ashton. Everyone needs to be more Tom Ashton.
They need to be like me as well.
I think Tom's got you beat. In terms of positivity, Tom's got you beat. But I only have to say two things to you, Bird Leno, and Tom has definitely got you beat on the positivity.
Bert Leno has been playing well, apart from last week.
Oh dear! It took you a while to be convinced after Eddie's departure.
I'm watching him.
I'm not hugging you because you're so sweaty there.
Too much information. We don't want to know that Daddy's sweaty.
Thought my mic was low.
Okay, so I'm on 10-15, and Benfica just had a throw-in, which went wrong, it looks like.
Yeah.
Hello, Nye.
Was it foul some guy?
Okay, so they've got another throw-in on 10:32.
Somebody says Ebony's always very positive, so you've got a fan out there somewhere.
Yeah, I would say
Sunday.
It was only the Martinez situation which he was very disappointed about that led to a little bit of Leno bashing, but Leno won her over in the end.
Just.
And then he went crazy for a week, and she's just about managing to recover from that.
Don't think so.
Saka's carrying the ball brilliantly again.
Come on, boys.
Cedric's cross is way too long. So far,
disappointing.
We've not really found much in terms of playing between the lines, getting that crucial pass through. But I'd say we certainly edged the first 10 to 12 minutes of the game.
I mean, I think the issues of
Did you just see Arteta giving it the
Greg G's saying we're levels above these and need to get a goal ASAP. Well, I'd like to see them prove their levels above, and that would involve getting a few shots away. We'd probably had 3 shots by this time in the Leeds game, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
So far, I don't think we've had a single shot. There was a dodgy cross that went straight to the keeper, but that doesn't count for me.
They're sitting deep, but they're really compact and they're pressing us pretty well, hoping that we make a mistake and then trying to capitalize on it.
I see a bit
Bellerin
of
surging over the halfway line.
counter-attacking.
Come on, Bellerin.
Oh. Saka and Bellerin seem to combine well.
Yeah.
Bellerin, however, didn't manage. Oh, how's that possibly their ball? Clearly knocked it against the defender. Bellerin then took over, continued to advance, got about halfway into the opponent's defensive half, but yeah, just seemed to run out of steam.
We seem to be getting forward quite a lot.
Seems
A lot of
seems to
interception
be,
by Benfica.
yeah, they don't press in the same crazy way that Leeds did. I mean, we were pulling Leeds out of position left, right, and centre, by just keeping up the sort of the movement. We're slowing it down unpleasantly, as far as I'm concerned. Leno just had the ball for about 30 seconds, and then he kicks long, looking for Aubameyang, doesn't find him. Aubameyang is now chasing back, and we've gone all the way back to their goalkeeper, who kicks long. Oh, is he going to get away with that foul? No, I didn't think he was. That was a silly little push from Xhaka. You don't get away with those very often.
He needs to cut that out.
Well, he needs to do it more subtly. You can put your hands on the player, but if you shove in that obvious, blatant way, you're going to give a foul away every time.
That was just so blatant.
No, Xhaka's subtle is not Xhaka's strong suit, is it?
I take it Pepe's on the bench.
He is, yes.
He is indeed, as is Tierney.
Which I'm surprised about, but it's good to see him back.
He's running down.
Somebody on the 10. Oh, is that 101?
That's Apollo.
That's
Apollo. Yeah.
So Apollo says Pepe would have fun with this game. Ødegaard started once and played okay. Pepe beats 2 players and scores, but he's benched. It's true. It's true. I think he believes. I think he believes that Ødegaard and Smith Rowe as a combination leads to better ball retention. But yeah, we do need to see. We need to see evidence of that being effective. Otherwise, people are going to question our £72 million man. Every time I say that phrase, I want to laugh. Our £72 million man.
But remember, he didn't cost himself. He didn't price himself. But
yeah, we're the ones. We're the ones to pay this.
When I'm laughing, I'm not laughing at Pepe. I'm laughing at the club. And I'm laughing at those within the club.
We got a £27 million defender who has still not played a game for us.
Saliba.
Well, I was also laughing this week at somebody that was talking about, how many of Arsenal's top signings in terms of transfer fee were still at the club, and suggesting that Arsenal should be doing better because they've got lots of expensive players. The cost of players has gone up. These are not that expensive, with the exception of Pepe. I would say Pepe is massively overpriced, which is not his fault, but definitely massively overpriced. Whereas, Aubameyang is an expensive striker who has proven his worth. Lacazette's not even an expensive striker by West Ham can afford to spend 30 and 40 million pound on a striker, so Yep. It's not that big a deal. But this team is if you had to assemble the Invincibles right now, you probably don't get any man in the team for less than about 30 million.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I could argue with that. It's probably only some of our young players we might be able to stretch, like Saka.
Oh, defender took a real gamble then, was very lucky that his goalkeeper was awake, Great goalkeeper. Basically, the goalkeeper was playing the sweeper. Then he came out good 25 yards in order to head the ball after the defender attempted to do an overhead kick and missed.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
happened.
yet to be there.
Happened for Liverpool in the week. Mane's goal was exactly the same, but the goalkeeper didn't read it. The defender left.
We're in again on the right. Bellerin. Aubameyang missing.
Oh my God! What the?
Superb run down the right-hand flank.
Oh,
Aubameyang needs to apologise because Bellerin's made a brilliantly timed run. He's got himself clean
on a
through.
plate.
He's left it as a tap-in.
No, Mark, no. You have to put that away. Look at the way how Benfica are playing. They've got 6 players in defence. They are just trying to soak up pressure. No, we gotta be ruthless. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
No, my mum could have scored that.
Yes, she could have. Oh,
That has to be put away.
I'd like to remind the Bellerin haters, of whom I've heard a few complaints this week. That was a superb run and a great cross. I mean, he couldn't really have done much more other than put it on the line and stopped it for Aubameyang. Yeah. A striker of put it away. And I don't, you caught up. Yeah, a striker of £50 million is supposed to put that away. Those people that are talking about, whether or not Arteta is getting the most out of this team need to also ask whether this team is doing right by Arteta. When Bellerin gets the ball into that position to the best finisher in our squad, you're supposed to only see one thing, which is the net bulging.
Yeah, that's
Smith Rowe now bursting down the other flank, but that's just that running.
Ceballos. It was Danny Ceballos' ball that put Hector Bellerin through. There we go again.
I've just seen the first miss with their goalkeeper.
Well, I mean,
embarrassing for Benfica.
Yeah, the only mistake there is from their centre back, really. I mean, Smith Rowe's doing exactly the right thing, and their goalkeeper is really on the ball to rescue the centre back. But the second one is Alba proving that maybe he's not quite as back to his best, although he's got through again behind. Not a great cross. Aubameyang crossing offside. Is not your strength. Okay, and he was offside anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, we weren't far offside.
We seem to be pressing quite a bit, but we just need to create, and we've had 2 chances to Benfica's none.
We are creating, but yeah, they are. They're just sitting back. Like we
they're trying to get us on the counter attack. That's what they're doing.
Yes. Yep. If we score 2 goals, then the game plan will change.
Whatever the game plan is, Arsenal's is looking much more effective than Benfica's. This is not a poor team. Those 2 centre backs were amongst the best in the Premier League over the last 5 years. And they've got some talented players in this Benfica team. This is not a. I remember having a conversation with one of our Tier 101 members in the Facebook groups where he was talking about the early rounds of the Europa League. In fact, it might even have been the early rounds of the Champions League. It was that long ago, and he was talking about kebab teams. This is not a kebab team. This is a proper European night against a quality team. But yeah, making chances is great. If you don't take them, you get punished.
Yeah,
and it's already starting to feel worryingly familiar.
Okay, let's take a page out of Ebony's book. Let's start thinking positive. Let's not think. Let's get back.
I can see us scoring because you've been pressing so much, and all Benfica have been doing is they've just been counter, and Benfica are boring me right now. I'm not bored with Benfica. They're not even coming out to play.
However, I've in too many games. Oh, that's a bit soft. Free kick given to Taarabt for a bit too much pressure applied by Ceballos. I think that was a bit cheap myself. he doesn't actually kick him. Taarabt is actually leaning back into him. Nah, I wouldn't have given that one. And it's got nothing to do with the fact he used to play for Tottenham. Oh, long ball from
Maybe.
Otamendi. Oh, there was a shout for a handball, but I didn't know. The ball definitely appeared to hit David Luiz's hand as it bounced. Have we got VAR tonight?
Yeah,
No,
we have.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand why why there's been no mention of that, because they're showing it again now. The ball definitely bounced up. Okay, but it didn't look like it from that angle. The first time I saw it, I thought it hit David Luiz on the hand, but from that angle, didn't appear to.
Didn't even get close.
I'd like to see the other side. Ooh, Aubameyang's managing to push right up onto one of their centre backs. That's a risky game they're playing there.
Evening, Tony. Oh, sorry, Vinci.
Tony.
Right.
VC. Evening. I'm good, Vince. How's yourself? I hope you're all right.
Yes, get well soon.
Apollo, we've had a few people. Yeah, we've had a few people poorly recently. I do hope people are on the mend. What's Apollo saying? Andrew doing good, mate. Working hard to get back to normal. In fact, I'm trying too hard, and it's setting me back somewhat. I need to just take time to heal. That's right, man. Just your number one job right now is getting well. Can you make sure you get that job done? And once you've done that one properly, you can worry about everything else.
How does everyone feel about David Luiz getting an extension?
It's a tough one, really. I think a lot depends on whether or not Arteta and Saliba can work out their differences. If Saliba's coming back in next year, that makes a big difference. If he's not, at the moment, it seems like David Luiz can do a job. Saka's offside, but it's a tough one because you would like not to need him, but at the moment, I can't argue that there's players that are clearly better than him, particularly in terms of distribution. He's always been more like a distributor that happened to play in defence. It always, his ability to pick a pass on a good day is phenomenal.
He's no Baresi, my brother. He's no Baresi.
No, but there were times earlier on in the season where our most creative player was playing at centre back. And supposedly some of these other players are quite talented as well. But the player who was actually finding angles, who was actually seeing the early ball very frequently. Oh, it's a great burst into the box from Saka. He strides away from his marker, but he gets into the penalty area. Arsenal have kept possession on the right-hand flank, but not really going anywhere, just kind of dancing around the box. But we're keeping possession, which is good. But yeah, as I say, David Luiz has had periods where he's been one of the most creative players in this team, playing at centre-back, and that's just not something you can get from a lot of players. Saka again taking it on, strike from distance is a shot on target, but it's far too easy for the goalkeeper.
In the Saka chance now. Bellerin. Come on, Bellerin, do something. Don't stand there.
Not very impressed with
to try and go forward.
Not very impressed by the final shot there from Saka. He needs to do more, or not shoot. Really, if we retain possession, that's fine. But if you're going to shoot, you need to make it significantly more dangerous than that.
Good effort by Saka.
It's a shot on target. That's what you got to appreciate.
There are shots on target.
Sometimes you get those right. Sometimes you get those right. They end up top left-hand corner. Sometimes they end up, you've got to shoot to score. I'd rather see a guy shoot and it goes straight down the throat of a keeper than not shoot. I mean, you got an opportunity.
I think you either need.
It will come.
you either need to hit the ball with power or accuracy. If you hit it inaccurately, when I say inaccurately, I don't mean just on target. I mean if it doesn't really go, if it doesn't go to a position which is awkward for the goalkeeper, and it's not hit with enough pace to be awkward for the goalkeeper, I'd rather we retain possession. But then,
Hang on, but wait.
I am an exponent of finger ball, which was all, you don't shoot from distance. You only shoot when you know you've got, you can create danger.
So should Aubameyang have passed the ball when he had an open goal? Because he missed the goal.
Yeah, it was a poor shot. It doesn't mean he shouldn't have shot. It was a poor shot. Right. So I'm complaining that Saka's shot was also
a poor shot. That's the point. Take the shot when you get the opportunity.
I don't think anybody's entitled to a poor shot myself. I'd say particularly £50 million strikers are not entitled to a poor shot.
The poorest shot you'll ever see.
I know. I don't entitle him to that. I'm disappointed. The same as I'm disappointed if David Luiz yanks back a defender. It's a mistake. It's not something that I'm pleased about. It's the first attempt to actually attack, and we've forced the corner. There's been a corner forced by Benfica down the right. I can't see the name of this. The number. Who's the number 9 for Benfica? Anybody got any idea?
No idea.
His name is Nunes.
Darwin Nunes.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to watch out for him.
Well, he carried the ball well right into the box, attempted to cross, but it was well cut out. But here we have our first threat from Benfica. There's a corner on the Arsenal left. Corner taken, cleared at the front post by Smith Rowe. But Benfica still pressing. The defenders are still up. Hector wins a header on the far side, and it goes out for a throw-in to Benfica. So this is Benfica's best minute of the game. I say best minute because they haven't had another decent minute. Hardly rushing to take the throw-in here.
Okay. Let's get it off.
Did Benfica drop out of the Champions League?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think they're Portuguese champions, aren't they? So they must have finished third in their group.
Yeah, that's right. They're no mugs, They are going to be a challenging side, but they've been on a bad run of form, and we're on the up. So this is a perfect opportunity for Arsenal. We cannot make silly mistakes.
Just thought I'd have a look at their Champions League group. So they drew with RB Leipzig.
Yeah, who else is in their group? Leipzig.
Lyon.
Liverpool.
What is that? Liverpool's group, Mark?
Don't think so.
Oh, so they had a pretty fair group then.
Just trying to find the group. I've got the tables now. Just trying to find the right one.
Get up.
Nunes is in a dangerous position. Hits a much more dangerous shot. Keeper spills it, but keeps it in play just about. Not the greatest handling, but he makes up for it. Still looking for this group.
Here's what I don't understand. How have we got 3 keepers in the team and no Reece Nelson?
Listen, it's worrying for Reece. I'm going to be completely honest about that.
It makes no sense.
I'm really questioning whether he has a future at the club. I get the whole Willian thing because Willian seniority means that he needs to play.
Yeah. But we've got 5 centre halves. We got 2 on the pitch and 3 on the bench. 5. Yeah? We've got 3 keepers, 1 on the pitch and 2 on the bench. Yeah? And the thing that you want, if you're going to win a game, is creativity. Players who can go and make a change to a game. So I understand you've got Willian, Pepe, Nketiah, Martinelli. Could you not drop 1 centre-half and 1 keeper to accommodate Reece Nelson, a player who you want to be developing?
I agree. But it just tells you what.
What is Karl Heine getting out of being in this group today that Reece Nelson isn't going to benefit from? I don't understand that.
You would have to assume he's got a knock. You'd have to assume he's got a knock.
No, he was in training. I've watched him train all week.
Well, you can pick up a knock on the way to the airport. You know what I mean? I'm not.
I've been in a squad for weeks. Come on.
So on the way to the airport, when he get out of bed and fell out of bed, got a bit of a knock, so can't come to the game.
Hey, look. I always remember that for cricket lovers out there. I always remember that McGrath stepping on a ball at the start of the Ashes. You know, these things happen. It was warming up for the first Test match of the Ashes. He steps on a ball and he doesn't play again.
Oh man.
So 10 minutes left in the half. We're not really look like we penetrated, apart from the 2 efforts. Well, one that didn't go on target and one that has been on target.
Okay, so Benfica dropped out at the Champions League 3rd qualifying round.
Oh,
so they didn't make the group. They didn't make the Champions League group stage.
Oh, so they've been in the Euro. Okay, all right.
So they dropped out in the qualifying rounds of in August or something.
Okay.
Offside again, surely? No? Yeah.
Yeah. It's offside.
So the shot by Saka to me looks a good shot, because now you kind of look at this and go, 45 minutes, how many shots have we had and how many on target? We've had 1 so far. That was Saka. I think Greg G has got a point. You know, this team would be so different if Thomas Partey was playing.
Yeah.
Well, those who hoped that we were hoping we were gonna win this in the first half an hour,
like me,
are starting to look a bit Tom Ashton-like in terms of the levels of positivity. Oh, Cedric did very well there. There was a bursting run into our box. Cedric did very well to keep up.
That's just good defending.
It is.
That's just good defending.
That's the second time in 2 matches that he's got into that situation where he could so easily have given away a penalty, and he hasn't. It's good. It's good play. So in the Europa League,
look forward, Granit. Thank you.
Benfica finished 2nd behind Rangers in their group.
Granit Xhaka.
Wow.
With an awful pass.
They was in Rangers' group. Okay.
Yeah, Rangers got 14 points. They're unbeaten, as were Rangers. 3 wins, 3 draws. Rangers, Standard Liège, and Lech Poznan.
Okay.
Looks like Granit Xhaka's returned to usual type. Did you see that last pass? He absolutely walloped into the stand.
I've been busy looking at the stats because the game's got that boring that it's more interesting to look at my iPad than it is to look at the TV. We did look quite good for the first 10 minutes were strong. The second 10 minutes were even stronger. The last 17 minutes have been not so impressive. Basically, since the point
come
that,
on,
that Aubameyang
Ceballos.
should have taken that chance. We really haven't seen anything.
Yeah. But the problem right now is Granit Xhaka and Danny Ceballos are doing nothing to advance the play.
They've got to turn
Look,
impossible. They got to make quicker
Why
decisions.
is he going back there? You're a midfielder. Look forward.
Ooh.
Look, and now
After winner throws it.
Well, you see, this is what frustrates me with them midfielders. The goalkeeper has nothing to go, so he has to go long. Those midfielders in the middle of the park should be moving and creating options. Okay, now do something. Now do something, Danny. Do something, Danny.
No, you got to carve them open. No,
There was a really good opportunity there. He tries to get Bellerin in, but the delivery is not good enough. The ball's cleared out. It's a throw into Arsenal down the right. Grimaldo, yes, I remember him. He was quite talented on FIFA a season or two ago.
Yeah, that's right. He was a Barcelona academy player.
Yeah.
Go put your jammers on, son.
Was it Julian Weigl is there as well? Come on, Bellerin.
Break down the right again. Bellerin's ball is not good enough, but
Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe gets to it, wins a corner.
Well done, Smith Rowe.
We're gonna score, you know.
Yeah, Smith Rowe looks hungry today.
That's what he does.
There. Vertonghen should have done better there. Starting to look every one of his 30-something years old there, Vertonghen. Says the bloke nearing 50. Let's not worry about that.
Oh, Smith Rowe.
Short corner, poor corner. Really poor corner. Fortunately, the Benfica player then falls over to give Odegaard back the ball, but that was a really poor corner. Ceballos is going to look for the run. No, he let.
What?
Odegaard!
Oh my God! What the hell?
Odegaard.
Oh no!
Breaks into the box. Tries to get the ball through. We should have scored. There was an offside anyway. David Luiz was offside anyway.
And David Luiz is still in the box trying to do step overs, Tony.
Yeah, I see him. I'm right with you, bro. I'm right with you. But you know what?
It's a good attempt.
It's interesting that he's there. I'm definitely looking really hard at Xhaka and Ceballos right now. Those guys need to step their game up.
Okay. Ebony, get yourself ready to come with something more positive. But Greg G saying Olympiacos vibe, very frustrating first leg so far. So Ebony, give us something positive to balance that out.
Don't even bring back those memories because that's the game that we should have had Martinez in. I'm not saying anymore. But we're knocking on the door, people. We're knocking on the door.
We were. Not currently.
No,
knocking on the door is just not enough. You need to be hammering.
I know.
The door.
We need to go through the door, but
yeah. And come on, boys, quicker.
Oh, poor ball by Ceballos behind Cedric, but
see, that's the kind of thing that makes me frustrated. Ceballos and Xhaka must do better.
Greg
it's like they don't know where to pass.
See William come on.
No, Greg. No.
Did you say Willian, Greg? Oh boy, can't wait for Willian to come on. Listen, let me tell you about Willian. He might go platinum here.
Oh dear. I think someone played it too tight. He's not sleeping well. It must be that.
No, please don't.
There is absolutely no sign of Willian at this point, but Greg's got a point in that every time we struggle, for some reason we seem to draw for Willian.
Oh,
But the thing is that when he comes on, we get worse. So
Smith Rowe's
has
injured.
Smith Rowe actually got a knock, or is he just a bit out of breath? He's sat down, can't see whether or not we've got. I'm assuming, the physio is making his way from the far side to where
Like a
Smith
pulled
Rowe.
muscle or something.
all right, so it seems to have a corner. Say.
Is it a knock or is it a muscle? He's not reaching for any magic spray, and he is reaching for his radio.
Go to the washing machine and open the door of the washing machine and bring out the things for me. Okay. You have a new towel in there as well.
Ødegaard is about to take a corner on the Arsenal left. They're not playing man-to-man marking. David Luiz is calling this. He's just pulled everybody who was in the 6-yard box to a group of 5 players around the penalty area in the penalty spot instead. The cross goes deep.
Benfica have 8 players in their box.
Yeah,
with marking nobody. Gabriel manages to get his head on the ball, but he heads it harmlessly wide. And yes, the Benfica goalkeeper is not interested in playing the ball short. He's telling the fullbacks to push up so he can waste a bit more time. Benfica are very happy with the draw. Apparently, Arsenal have had 3 attempts on have had 3 attempts rather. We know they weren't all on target, but we've had 3 attempts. Benfica have had 1. I don't remember
this isn't
one.
a managerial issue. This is not a managerial issue. Like this comes down to the players. Like Aubameyang had a clear-cut chance to score. It comes down to the players.
Saka's been taken out again. Was that Vertonghen? That looks like Vertonghen. Yeah, it was. That's a cheap foul.
Has he been carded yet, Vertonghen?
Nope. Nobody has, I don't think. There's been at least 4 fouls against Saka.
That was a terrible free kick.
All right, so from my point of view, we've got like 1 minute left. Well, 1 minute added time. And Bellerin is about to...
Oh my God. Oh, don't. Jesus
very nearly conceded a goal in stoppage time.
God, that would be so Arsenal, wouldn't
A
it?
mix-up between David Luiz and Hector Bellerin. I think it's Luiz that's at fault, but I'm not certain.
Yeah. No, it looks like Luiz. Well done, Tobias, for at least heading it away or blocking it.
Here, so we've got...
Yeah, whose ball
Here's
was
David
that?
Luiz.
Yeah, who played the ball into that no man's land?
Oh,
That's where the error took place. The error took place with the pass played
Thank
in
you,
between
Ceballos.
2 players.
Well, we're into the final. We played over a minute of stoppage time. Arsenal have a free kick in their own penalty area.
I don't even think Tobias actually even meant to header it off, to be honest.
Oh, no, it hit him.
All right, so now they have a corner.
Okay. The ball comes in from Xhaka.
Yeah, the commentary is saying it's a let off from the Swiss international, so it looks like it is Granit Xhaka that was at fault.
Apollo, go on, let it rip.
What's VC? Tony, don't let Arteta blow your mind. Oh, by the way,
That's what I said. Let it rip. Let it rip.
I'm not sure if I should translate that comment from our illustrious leader.
That's what I expect from him. That's what I expect from Apollo.
Yeah,
He also says people talking about the Champions League, but this is our level right now. This is a Champions League team. They qualified for the qualifying round.
We're doing quite well against them, though.
We have been the better team. but where we've created more, but we've also looked more likely to make a mistake.
Have we?
That last chance could have
Certainly in
been
that last minute we did, yeah.
Tony. I mean, come on. If they had scored then, what would you? Because I would have flipped out.
Yeah, but that's one mistake.
That's Arsenal.
Area. I mean, it's not the only mistake of the game, but it's the only mistake in a dangerous area.
Yes.
I think there was at least one other that we got let off, but yeah, it's
no.
So, guys, in the chat room and guys on the panel, what do you make of the first half? I thought we played pretty well. Like I said, Benfica started to bore me with their defensive counter-attacking. They started to bore me, and we looked the better side. We pressed them more, and we looked like we were going to score. Apart from that moment when they were going to, look like they were going to score, but Sabai's got in the way. So, what do you guys think?
I think it's been a pretty good first half. I mean, the thing is, we've created chances. I think we've worked hard. Benfica are playing in a way that's going to frustrate Arsenal. And you just have to hope that the chances that we've missed are not going to bite us in the arse, because this is something that we've seen from Arsenal time and time again. I've seen it where we've played well, couple of mistakes, we get punished, and then we end up losing the game. And I just do not want those mistakes to go against us. So let's hopefully continue what we're doing, create chances. Let's start put some of these chances away. But yeah, things are looking positive.
Yeah, Mark.
It was a solid first 10 minutes. It was an impressive second 20 minutes. So second 10 minutes. So up to the 20-minute mark, we really did look like we were likely to score. And I'm a bit worried that we've, the best football that we had was 25 minutes ago. We've had 25 minutes of not quite creating in the same way, not quite dominating to the same extent, and we've shown that we are still vulnerable at the back. There is still the chance that Arsenal will slip up. I mean, we're not quite Spursy yet, but we weren't far off. If they scored with that one decent chance at the end of the half, we'd be going. How predictable this is. Fingers crossed, we get back to playing the better football. But if Kieran Tierney's on the bench, and he's fit enough to play 45 minutes, I'd like 45 minutes from Kieran Tierney about now.
Yeah, take off Cedric.
I don't think it matters
which one of them you take off. Both Bellerin and Cedric are decent at right back. I just think that neither of them holds a candle to Tierney at left back.
Fair enough.
I think what this shows is the difference with Arsenal when we play a team that comes out and attacks you as against a team that defends and sits and defends. And this has been a problem for us. Yeah? Any team that sits and defends and then tries to hit us on a break, we always struggle against. So we can win teams against like to Chelsea, like to Leeds, because Leeds will come out, Chelsea will come out, and we can counter and play in behind. But when a team sits the way they have done, that causes a problem.
Yeah. Apollo saying Saka not in the game, that's why we don't look good. Orba ghosting on that left side. However, Bellerin and Odegaard have been decent so far. Yeah, Saka, not Saka, but Aubameyang, apart from that one chance he had, he's not really been in it. And that's probably because he's not being fed. Saka, he's been in and about. But he's a bit like the Leeds game. He's got how many players surrounding him? Because he's that good. So, yeah, so it'll be quite interesting what happens in the second half.
Michelle's picking up on the stats here.
We take our chances a bit more.
Michelle's picking up on the stats here. She says that Odegaard has completed 22 out of 23 passes in the first half. The best passing accuracy of any Arsenal player on the pitch at 96%. But what I want to see is those passes in the dangerous area. There was one moment which looked really dangerous. Unfortunately, both David Luiz was offside, and we still didn't manage to actually. I think the ball came through to Ceballos, who wasn't able to do anything particularly constructive with it. But Odegaard had a couple of very, very nice touches in that move to take him away from the defenders. Just looking at the other results on the other halftime scores, Antwerp are leading Rangers 2-1 at halftime. Granada 2-0 up against Napoli. Shakhtar Donetsk have a 1-0 lead away to Maccabi Tel Aviv. Hoffenheim 3-1 up at Mulder, and Villarreal are 1-0 up at Salzburg. Those are mostly half times. There was at least one of them was just the latest score.
How about the scum down the road?
I haven't seen that one. It wasn't listed. Have they already played?
There were loads of games earlier.
Okay. Yeah, I think those are only the games that are currently underway.
Man United won 4-0. Tottenham won 4-1. A whole bunch of games got played earlier. Don't forget, we're in a round of 32. 16 games today. 8 earlier, 8 later.
Okay.
Early on, I'm just showing. They're just showing the number of breaks down the Arsenal right. Odegaard and Saka offering real threat down the Arsenal right. Those are not the greatest. That must have been the one misplaced pass from Odegaard. There was in a really dangerous position. He could have played Saka in, and Alba was very well placed on the left hand side if that ball had found Saka. But then when Bellerin made the perfect run onto a ball from Ceballos, the finish just didn't match. They're just showing us the replay of that now. I mean, the timing of the ball and the run from Bellerin was superb. And Alba has got himself 2 yards ahead of his man. And in that situation, I can't see how he misses the target. I can't see how he misses the target. I mean, I honestly think I could have taken the touch and then put it away in that position. He doesn't even need to take it first time. I mean, Alba likes to hit everything first time. It's very rare that he takes a touch in those kind of positions. But it's hard to believe he could miss it. God, I've just seen the replay of the Xhaka ball that was picked up by Grimaldo. It was a terrible ball from the Swiss, who was jogging back into the penalty area, looking hopefully that his teammates were going to rescue him. But that was a terrible thing to play.
Says Xhaka is a certified moron. Honestly, when are we going to see the back of that guy? Ask Apollo.
I think the thing is with Xhaka is that if he gets too overconfident, that's when he makes mistakes. I think he needs to play within his remit and stick to what he can do well. There are games where he doesn't do anything flash, and he's very effective. But then there are games when he just tries silly stuff, and it shows that he makes mistakes.
Yeah,
it's also about where he's picking the ball up.
This is why I say that Xhaka doesn't do subtlety. It's like it's either too much or nothing at all. And sometimes he just needs to ease up. He needs to stop making silly mistakes. Stop going backwards and forwards. I mean, fair enough. He's actually been playing well of late, but it's just those silly little mistakes that he makes, like he has today, and that's why there's no. I don't have any complete trust of him, because I know that if he plays a game, he's going to make a mistake that will cost us, and he's done it before, and I wouldn't put it past him to do it again.
Apollo says everything good about this Arsenal team of late has been Saka and ESR, Emil Smith-Rowe, and they're now on opposite flanks, which is, Emil has come across the right at some points, but generally speaking, they have been on opposite flanks. Benfica would be extremely scared of Pepe. I'm assuming that those 4 stars means extremely. Leeds are not Benfica. Very true. Who do you take off to bring on Pepe at this point, though?
I'd take, if I had to take any of them off, I'd have to take off Smith-Rowe, because he's looking a little bit jaded. But I don't know. It's a difficult one.
I agree. I think Pepe offers far more threat down the left than Smith Rowe has shown so far today.
Well, when he's played on the left, he's had a couple of very good games. He's also disappeared in games much more than Emil Smith Rowe, who I think has had quite a few decent touches in this game. But yeah, it's hard to know which version of Pepe you're going to get. Pepe on a good day would be worth bringing on. Pepe on a bad day is probably going to play his most effective balls right where he's sat at the moment.
The thing is, you look at the form of Pepe, and you got to play players in form. Yeah.
But the idea is that the other four are in form.
Based on his last 4 matches, he scores goals and he creates assists, and that's what we're missing right now.
We weren't missing it in the last game that he didn't play, so that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was Leeds, though. And Leeds are that team whereby you just don't know what you're going to get sometimes. But then when you see what you are getting, then you know how to play against them. But I hope Pepe does come on.
What do people think? Apollo suggested that you could take off either Xhaka or Ceballos and move Ødegaard into central midfield. I haven't seen anything to suggest that Ødegaard is capable of the tracking required in that role. I'd be worried about that, if I'm honest. Michelle says 7 offsides is more than we've managed in any game since January 2018.
Is that how many offsides we've had?
Apparently, at least one of them looked a bit dubious, but there were quite a few that were quite clear. And yeah, it's
the other thing that you could do is you could take off Cedric and bring Saka back into the left back role, knowing full well that it's not really a left back; it's more of a wing back. Yeah, so you play Saka on the left, you play Pepe on the right, or Saka and Pepe on the left, Ødegaard and Aubameyang right.
I'm aware of how competent a job Saka can do there, but I think you lose more than you gain. I know you get another attacking player on the field. Apollo's very distressed by my suggestion that Xhaka occasionally tracks back. Apparently, Xhaka doesn't do any tracking either. Apollo says he can't see Tierney coming on for more than 10 minutes, if any, but Pepe would be a good shout, even though we clearly seem to be prioritising this match over the weekend against City.
Possibly.
Well, which one of these games do you think we're likely to get more likely to get a result from? I would say this one. This is the one where you've got to try and get the result.
Yeah. Don't forget, it's over 2 legs. This is the away leg. The most important thing here is keep a clean sheet.
An away goal. Have an away goal. Yeah.
Well, it's more important to score than it is to keep a clean sheet, I would argue.
Right, we'll come back on the pitch.
I'd rather draw 2-2 than draw 0-0.
Yeah, but don't forget the return leg is not in our home stadium either.
No, but the away goals still count. The away goals still count double. No, it's going to be in Athens.
Okay.
But it's the away goals.
The Corona. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because no one wants anybody Portuguese coming into their country. Apparently, the Italians and the in fact, nobody wants the English coming in either. The different variants.
Can you blame them?
The different variants of the COVID-19 infection that we've got.
Second leg in Rome.
No, this is in Rome. Second leg's supposed to be in Athens.
Oh, right. Yeah,
okay, that's understandable.
Assuming that the Greeks don't have a further lockdown, there was some talk earlier in the week because they announced that it was going to be Athens, and then they took it off at one point from the Arsenal website, and somebody said it was because there was a threat of further restrictions being imposed in Athens. Greg's wondering what Arteta has against Pepe after he ripped Southampton apart, ripped Wolves apart. How do you expect him to gain form without a run of games? Yeah, no, I mean, he was. I mean, it's such a shame what happened with that Wolves game. We were playing so well, and yeah, we won't talk about the way that broke down. But we were playing some good football, and Pepe in particular was playing really well.
No, Pepe's not rubbish. I was thinking about Willian for some reason. I don't know why Pepe and Willian seem to. I don't know. Pepe, listen, I keep telling people that Pepe, give the boy time. Okay, I know he's been with us for a season. He will come good. Some players develop a lot longer.
So
we're
that's
about to
two
kick off second half.
substitutions for Benfica. They clearly want to try and do something to affect this game.
Yep, Rafa Silva has come on for Luca Waldschmidt. Obviously, everyone knows Luca Waldschmidt, right? I didn't see that the second one didn't actually get flashed up. There were two people lined up there, but they didn't actually announce the second one. But yes, it would appear that there's going to be a bit more emphasis on getting forward for Portuguese.
Have we made substitutions? Because I'm actually.
No, Arsenal line up the same. Double sub for the Portuguese, nothing for us.
You see, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to our substitutions. I don't know why Arteta is waiting so long to make the substitutions. I don't know. I don't know what goes through his brain.
You know, Arsene Wenger really made a substitution before the 66th minute. It was a running joke that, you know, if we haven't played 60 minutes, Arsenal's not even going to consider the players on the bench. So yeah, I think at the moment we're still the better team. We've had the better chances. We should be ahead. So he believes more of the same. We should be able to get on top in this game. But what the problem is, if in 15, 20 minutes time we haven't got a goal, then we find ourselves desperately chasing the game in the last 20. Well, not desperately, but yeah, having to work a bit harder at that than we would like. Alba and Smith Rowe linking down the Arsenal length. Smith Rowe gets the ball back, but Odegaard couldn't take it in his stride and has the ball pinched off him by Nunes. Oh, great change. Who's won the ball there? That's the Bios has won the ball, but he runs straight into a player. Oh, that's disappointing, Danny. It's a bit scrappy here. It's one way and then the other.
Ceballos has to do better there. Ceballos has to do better this game. He's offering nothing at the moment. He's had one decent pass. He's had one key pass, which was he slipped the ball into Bellerin when Bellerin laid on the sitter for Aubameyang. Other than that, he's done nothing. And that is why, at the end of this season, I'm not really interested in paying any money for Dani Ceballos.
First shot on target for the Portuguese. They definitely seem to have come out of their shell a bit in the second half. This isn't about counter-attacking. They're actually trying to move forward on mass and press. First shot was fairly tame, but it is a shot on target, as Tony would want you all to know. Most important, that's not a foul. Oh, that's a harsh decision against the Ceballos. Seems to win the ball. Maybe it's because he pushes down. No, the player kicks into him. That's not a foul.
That's a studs up tackle, bro.
They both got their boot. They both got their studs up, and he gets there first. That's the only thing that happens. He doesn't. His studs don't make contact with the player, but they both got their studs up, Tone. And one of them plays the ball.
Yeah.
If they both got their studs up and one of them plays the ball, how do you penalise the one that plays the ball rather than the one that arrives late?
But we see that all the time. That's part of football now.
What? Because they both got their studs up. The one who wins the ball is punished. It
pretty much
makes no sense to me.
All the time. Yeah, I can't say you've never seen that before.
Oh no, I'm not saying I haven't seen it before. I'm saying it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Come on, boys.
Saka now pressing down the right,
forward.
carrying the ball with threat. Oh, he's offside anyway. He's way offside. It's a great ball in, but it was for Alba, not Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe was offside. Alba was not, but only Smith Rowe seems to be awake enough to move towards the ball. Alba had slipped just before. That's what happens. But Smith Rowe is well offside.
Oh.
Yeah, that falling over at the wrong time, that kind of sums up Alba for me at the moment.
Yeah, not having a good game so far. Maybe time to bring on Lacazette.
Lacazette, he won't be taking off Alba anytime soon. I can tell you that.
I can guarantee that Arteta will make a substitution at the 85th minute.
Saka now attacking again down the right-hand flank, tries to cut it into Ødegaard, easily cut out by a defender. The Portuguese have got the ball back. Grimaldo goes long, and it's an Arsenal throw-in roughly on the halfway line.
This is Saka.
Did I see Naomi's returning there? No, I thought I saw a little flash of Naomi, but he's hiding behind that wonderful little crown and cannon badge affair he's got going on. Great run down the left, but the cross from Cedric is what you would expect of a right-footed player on the left-hand flank.
What minute are you guys on? I'm on 50:37.
You're about 19
45.
seconds. Yeah, you're about 19 seconds behind me. I'm on 51 now. That's pretty good for the stream. So, Cedric again down the left. Looks in for Ceballos. Ceballos doesn't do well, but the ball breaks to Gabriel. Feeds Xhaka. Xhaka looks to switch it. Bellerin takes it on his chest. But it's all got a bit pedestrian again. And it only usually changes when we see Saka getting on the ball, which he is now. He goes inside to Bellerin. Bellerin goes back to Ceballos, who finds Saka, who's in a great position and drags the shot just wide of the right-hand flank. That's the best moment of the second half for Arsenal so far. Great interchange between Saka and Ceballos. Ceballos, you said he had to do better. Well, he won't have much sweeter touch than that one. TC.
I think the
What do you
touch
reckon?
that you're looking at was inspired.
It's the second key pass from Ceballos in this game.
We need
I don't think
that.
anybody's played a pass as good as either of the two. The two best creative moments of the game for either team have both come from Dani Ceballos. And yeah, this time Saka pulls a rather poor shot, but the interchange was good, the running was good, and as I say, Arsenal only look dangerous when Saka picks the ball up.
Which is not good, which is poor, basically, as far as I'm concerned.
Go upstairs because you're not really doing anything to help.
Short corner for Benfica. He's given a penalty. The referee has given a penalty against Arsenal. Naomi is shouting at the screen. There's a penalty against Arsenal. The ball hits Smith Rowe, and a penalty has been given.
That was ball.
It doesn't even touch his hand. Doesn't even touch his hand. Oh no, it does. After it's gone past his body, it comes off his hand.
That was ball to hand.
It's a very harsh decision.
Fuck's sake, man. Pardon my French. No, that was ball to hand.
The hand is in a very awkward position. It's one of them where you've got to hold your hands behind your back.
Well, by your side I do, but just look, you can't afford to have them at shoulder height and have the ball hit.
Because I've seen those given as well.
So there's a penalty. The Benfica captain is stepping up to take it. Both he and Bernd Leno taking some deep breaths. Which way do you think? I think he's going to the keeper's right.
Actually, you tell me what you can tell me because I'm a bit behind.
And the penalty's in 1-0. Arsenal are behind.
So Bruno Fernandes type penalty.
Pitsy the person who takes it. It's one of those step
Ball
ups in the
to
keeper.
fucking hand.
Keeper goes the right way, but doesn't. It's well enough struck. There's enough power on it.
I mean, in moments like that, you just don't think to put your hands behind your back. It's just you just don't want the ball to hit your face. But
The problem is
that's what a defender does.
The problem is he turns away.
When you're taught the art of defending in the box, the one thing you do is don't put your hands out. You have to have your hands behind your back when defending in the box.
The joke is, I think the ball's going to hit him in the face if it goes by. You used to get that as self defence when the ball's coming up towards your face like that, but not anymore.
This is the point where I go out for a cigarette.
Enjoy. Whatever your poison is. Mine is Arsenal, so I've got no option.
Plenty of time still. As you said, this is about getting an away goal. 1-1 isn't a bad result. If we can get a 2-1 here, even better.
Oh, it's a great breakdown. That's a super. Is that Xhaka? Can I get some commentary from our illustrious leader about that slide tackle from Xhaka? I think it requires a commentary as to whether or not Xhaka is making those, but is backtracking. I think our illustrious leader might need to backtrack on his referee. That was a superb tackle. I don't think that Odegaard
will be making ones like that. Slow to get the ball up the pitch, though. It's like pass.
There's a chance now. He's in. Saka's equalised. 1-1. Leonis is shouting this time in joy. We like the muted shouts from Leonis.
Yeah. So that's what we need. The away goal there. We can go on and win this 2-1. 2 away goals would be nice.
Why is the goalkeeper? Why has the referee got his hand up? They're questioning perhaps an offside. They're questioning something.
So he's got his hand to the air. He's waiting.
He's standing still, waiting.
Are you taking the piss?
Just we got youngsters here, please, Ebony.
Sorry. Are you extracting the Mickey Mouse?
He's allowed to look at it. He's allowed to look at it.
At the moment, I think they've ruled it out.
They've ruled it out.
It's not a final decision yet, Ebony.
It's actually
the goal's given. The goal's been given. The final decision is the goal's been given.
You.
They did take a very long time over it. You know what it is? The ball hits a Benfica player before it bounces back to Aubameyang, who was in an offside position, but the ball was not played forward. I think that must be what the thing that they're querying.
Yeah, because there's no way Saka's behind the play, so he can't be offside.
I'm just watching. So there's a tackle from Smith Rowe attempts to win the ball. It hits. It's going backwards and hits a Benfica player and bounces to Aubameyang, who then finds the ball through to Cedric, who gets the ball into Saka, who taps it into the back of the net. Well, clips, I think we call that. I think we'll say he clips the ball into the back of the net.
Come on.
But yes, I suspect it was the positioning of Aubameyang which led to there being quite such a long process.
Come on, defend it, man.
Oh, I did think we were get that table that's come out for the Premier League based, on the impact of VAR.
Kieran Tierney's coming on.
Well, I did hope we were going to get at least half an hour of the young Scot. He is our most impressive player on the left flank.
So, Ebony, you're wrong again. We didn't have to wait till 85. We've had to wait till 60.
Oh wow, who's coming on for who?
Kieran
Because I'm still
Tierney.
behind.
Tierney.
Oh, thank the
So,
Lord.
which one do you take off out of Bellerin and Cedric? Because
Take
I think
Cedric.
Cedric.
I think they both played well. I mean, Cedric's just got the assist.
Yeah, I take off Bellerin just because of the assist.
Nah, you keep the player on the right playing the way he is, and then you change. Good tackle, Odegaard.
It was nice turn from Saka, but couldn't quite keep the ball with him.
Bellerin. Okay, luckily Ceballos wins it back. Oh, unlucky.
Well, the Portuguese decided to come out in the second half, and they have made the game a bit more interesting. So, yeah. Bellerin's now waiting for Odegaard. Odegaard takes the ball up. Both Saka and Aubameyang are ahead of him. He finds Saka. Saka is on the edge of the 18-yard box. Attempts to get the ball into the box. The cross isn't very good, intercepted. And eventually it's knocked back to the goalkeeper who kicks long for Benfica. David Luiz was adjudged a foul, but the advantage has been played.
What's up?
And we move on.
Other sock, Mr. Man. Don't want you to lose your socks.
Far be it from your sartorial conversations to interrupt the football here, Tony. But I mean, if we're talking about your suits, that would be one thing. But if it's your boy's socks, we might. Oh dear. Oh, somebody just stepped away, and a great shot
great
and a good save from Leno.
Great save. Come on now. Counter attack. Let's go.
Now, Saka's carried the ball, but he didn't carry it with any attacking threat. Bellerin picks it up. Saka goes right the way back to David Luiz. We keep possession well. Switch to Cedric. Cedric gives the ball back to Xhaka. Smith Rowe. Xhaka. Gabriel. But it's solid, but it's uninspiring again. Smith Rowe now bursting down the left flank. Looks in for Aubameyang. He looks for Dani Ceballos. Ceballos is looking to play that great pass through, but it was another attempt. Was that Odegaard or Ceballos?
Yeah, that's Odegaard. Yeah.
Wasn't the best ball from the Norseman.
So it looks like Benfica are bringing on 2 substitutes. So that means they will have made 4 substitutes in the first 60 minutes.
Oh, Aubameyang has just driven a shot wide of the left upright. This isn't quite as easy a chance as the one he missed early on, but really, again, you've got to hit the target.
Oh, he's inches.
It's about 18 inches, I reckon. Cedric is the man being withdrawn. On comes Kieran Tierney. I think Cedric's got a right to feel a bit disappointed myself, although Kieran Tierney is the most clear and obvious substitute from that bench. If he was, if he's able to play 30 minutes, he's the man you'd most want to come on. But Cedric's had a very good first half and a very good 60 minutes, really.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd have been disappointed by that. Was it Everton comes on for Benfica? We were rumoured with him about 2 years ago now.
2 years ago, yeah, good player.
Yeah,
and Severovic as well. He was. I think he's come from the Bundesliga. I think he was quite an impressive player.
Yeah, that's right.
I think he had quite a big game in one of the World Cup games.
Yeah, he's
a good player.
Quick and nimble. It looks like they're really trying to stretch our defence if they're bringing on Everton.
Behave, Apollo. We're watching football.
Look, I know that this is Arsenal 101. You need a different group for this conversation, Apollo. Not only are you talking balls, but your balls are the wrong shape.
Yeah.
There was not a rude word said.
Oh man.
Apollo's getting hyped because his team is having a winning season for once.
Well, they deserve it.
Is
It's
my
been a
man on
long
yet?
time.
Is my man on yet?
Yeah, he's on.
Yeah, he's on. He hasn't touched
Rangers
the ball
have
yet.
pulled it back to 2-2 in the, and they've got 2 away goals, so that would be quite a good result for them.
Well done, Stevie G.
Erdegaard tried to make a challenge, but Benfica are breaking. That's Seferovic breaking down the right-hand side. And yes, it's still, we're seeing a lot more of the Portuguese champions on the ball at the moment. Ball clipped into the box is intercepted relatively easily by Gabriel. We start moving down the left flank. There's a flying Scotsman out there somewhere. Oh, I thought that ball needed a bit more pace on it. Oh, is it a great ball towards Alba? Oh, nice vision from Erdegaard. Slightly too far to the right for Alba to get on. Maybe slightly too much pace on the pass, but certainly great vision to see the movement and the possibility.
That looks a good pass to me.
Aubameyang almost.
Greg is saying he wants to see Pepe and Tierney together.
Stop pushing. Don't
So
push.
what are people thinking about for the next substitution? Assuming that Arsenal want to keep players fresh, you want to keep turning players over.
Smith Rowe.
Yeah, for Pepe.
I'd say that was the most obvious.
Yeah.
Who would you take off?
Smith Rowe, we're saying, is the most obvious. So it's like for like in terms of position. You don't ask anybody to do a different job.
Yeah.
You just ask someone else to come on and offer more energy, really.
Yeah, fresh legs.
Anyhow, I see Willian on.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Keep your head up,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Keep your head up.
Saka turns beautifully. Looks for Bellerin, who tries to find him. First touch, unfortunately, from Saka was not best. Erdegaard did track back, but great challenge from Danny Ceballos.
Danny.
And you want to let him go?
After a shaky first half, he's playing really well now.
And you want to let him go, Tony?
You're not watching.
Apollo, I was saying, about tracking back. I've seen some great tracking back from both Ceballos and Xhaka in the second half. Odegaard was tracking back, but not with the same conviction as Danny there.
Oh yeah, by far.
He needed to wake up.
Aubameyang manages to pressurise the goalkeeper into knocking the ball straight into touch. At this point, you want to see Saka showing for this ball, but I think maybe he might even be tiring. Bellerin, Smith Rowe smuggle the ball away to Ceballos, who goes back to Gabriel, looks inside again for Ceballos, who's got space in front to carry the ball. Wasn't ready to play it there. There was a good run from Bellerin, but Ceballos wasn't ready to play the ball at the point that he made the run.
Ceballos has got so much space. Why is he going back to Gabriel? He needs to be able to make something happen.
Alba showing
too
his...
safe. I don't know why he's not looking and moving players.
The only player that seems to be doing that today is Saka.
Yeah.
It's only when Saka has the ball that we threaten to carry it,
Oh,
or that when we carry it we have any threat. Cool K says we should have put this to bed in the first half, but we have to make it harder for ourselves and give them a chance.
as
I could
always.
see it coming.
This was never going to be an easy game. Let's be honest.
Mm.
You know, and it's not a 90-minute game. It's a game of 180 minutes. So let's not get ahead of ourselves and think it's doom and gloom. We got a lot of time to do what we need to do.
I think the second half well, I'm just hoping we actually win. I know it's going to be a neutral ground, but
it's best if we just get another goal in.
Yeah. And
It's all about those away
I
goals.
see no reason why we can't.
Yeah,
We've got 20 minutes to get one more goal.
Yeah, it's just give us another goal, and that'll set things up perfect.
Go on, Kieran. Well done. Look forward, Xhaka.
Oh, nice one,
Tony
Kieran.
seems to have
Nice
gone
one.
behind a little bit. Smith Rowe breaking down the left. It's a decent cross, and it's cleared, but only as far as Smith Rowe, who looks back to feed Kieran Tierney. He'll go to the byline, and the ball's pushed behind for a corner. Kieran Tierney is doing what Kieran Tierney does, which is carrying the ball, carrying a threat. We have a threat on both flanks. Hold on. This could be a game.
Cool K says Bellerin is so bad with the ball. We need a good technical right back. Agree? Disagree?
Disagree.
Disagree. Scored a good goal the other day.
Yeah, his hammer strike in the last game was pretty good technique. The cross today for Aubameyang was pretty good technique. Kieran Tierney first to the ball again.
Okay, Odegaard is taking this corner.
You're quite a way behind there.
Yeah.
Aubameyang breaking into the penalty box, looks to pull it back, but it's behind Gabriel, who was still up from the previous corner. Arsenal keep possession and start to regain their shape. Gabriel's gone back to centre back.
I mean, Apollo, we have no choice though. Like they're two of our best players. Like if you're talking key 3-4 players, like they're in there. We do need to manage them better, but that means that we have to rely on Willian and Pepe, which is
a no.
Yeah, it's a big issue. So
yeah, I mean,
you're not quite right there. You're not quite right. Don't forget Martinelli.
Yeah, we keep forgetting about him.
Well, I mean, why are we not playing Martinelli?
He's still not found his feet, having come back from that long-term injury. But we need to play him to get him the game time. He needs to get reps in.
Another great turn in the midfield. This is a really dangerous break down the left-hand flank. The shot goes wildly wide, but it was a great break.
Yeah.
Is that Safarovic again? No, that's Nunes. Is that Nunes?
No, Everton.
But the break in the midfield was really impressive. Fortunately, the shot wasn't quite good enough. I need to see it from the other angle to see how close it was.
Too much.
See,
It's not doom and gloom, but it's hardly inspiring when you consider what we have ahead of us this weekend.
Yeah,
I think we'll beat Man City.
Ebony, you are so positive. I love it.
But
honestly, I do.
You and Tom Ashton both think we'll beat Man City.
Remember
it's a great direct ball through to Alba. Alba tries to turn back.
That's a penalty. It's got to be a penalty. It's got to be something.
It's not going to be anything.
Come on. Why didn't he?
It's a shame I'm so far behind you guys.
Oh,
Here we go.
When you see it, you're going to be frustrated.
He was fouled in the box. Not even a yellow. Not even a yellow.
That is
no. The trouble is that Aubameyang tries to take the ball back across the defender and takes it in, and knocks it into the defender. So the defender gets to the ball because of Aubameyang's choices.
You would think he would just take it on his left foot. Just take it on his left foot, like
absolutely. He doesn't need to drag it back. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper. Just shoot the ball with your left foot.
There's two goals he could have scored today, and quite easy chances. Oh,
definitely.
Here comes Pepe.
Pepe is stripped and ready to come on. He's getting last-minute instructions from the boss. Who do we think's coming off? It's got to be Smith Rowe, surely.
Yeah, I'd say ESR.
Yeah, I think he's just heard the call.
Apollo, wouldn't it be something if in the next round we drew Emery's Villarreal? Oh, the story behind that. Emery versus Arteta.
No. No. No.
I know. Was it Villarreal? I've been playing pretty good season in La Liga, but
the shock, everybody! It's Alba coming off.
Wow, he's taking off the free.
Oh well, fair enough.
Oh, Martinelli coming on. Yes.
Oh wow.
Okay, so Martinelli's going to go up top.
Wow.
Pepe will go left, and Smith Rowe's come off. So yeah, not such a shock but it's still a shock because Martinelli is going to get the run. I suspect through the middle.
Watch this work rate now. This is what we're about now. Watch this work rate now.
There's another substitution for Benfica. I don't think they made the second sub at half time, I think they only made one of the two subs at half time.
No, they've made 5 substitutions.
No, they only. I think they wanted to make 2, but on
they
Sky
lined
Sports,
up 2, but one of them didn't come on because I said they didn't come up on the screen.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we've definitely moved to Martinelli as the man in the middle. Pepe is the man on the left.
Oh, come on. Don't just stand back, Odegaard. You got to press too.
Oh, dear. It's a very open game suddenly.
Xhaka just... Oh. Xhaka's got to track his man better with that.
But at least Martinelli's actually not standing around. He's actually hungry.
Well, you'll get movement from the lads. You'll get movement. Whether or not we're able to pick him out, well, that's going to be down to Odegaard and Ceballos mainly, I would suggest. But yeah, there's certainly pace down that left-hand flank now with Tierney. We've got that thing occurring which started off when we were playing a back 5, which is that when we're in possession, Xhaka drops into the left back position so that Tierney is right up the field. Oh, yeah, I don't like it when Xhaka is forced to play the ball back like that, especially when, he wasn't able to put the ball in front of Leno. He had to put it behind him. Right, Tierney.
Oh, what are you doing?
To Xhaka.
Xhaka.
I know, just play it forward.
To Pepe, to Tierney, to Pepe. He looks again for Tierney. Tierney, he's going to try and get a cross in. But no, he tries to get the ball to Pepe. Pepe's first touch was great, but takes it out of play. He does manage to shield the ball. Really, he disguises what he's going to do really well, but there's too much weight on it, and he drags it out of touch.
I'm just seeing it right now. Tierney to Pepe. Pepe.
Nice.
Tierney overlaps. Little bit of a cross, but not. Oh, Yeah. Good effort, though.
He does. He makes a good movement, but he's trying to knock the ball right to the byline so that he can pull it back. But unfortunately, he takes it just too far. It was neat. Oh, Gabriel misses the ball completely. Is there a foul? Yes. It looks like he's jarred his back a bit as well.
Yeah.
Is that another case of that making a back? Yep, it's another one of these players who makes no attempt to play the ball, just gets himself into an awkward position and makes a back. As Harry Kane and Maguire are famed for doing, it's become the English defenders' route of challenge of preference in the midfield. It seems to me. Don't attempt to play the ball, just play the man whilst he's in midair.
Yeah, I'm just seeing it right now. Gabriel seems to be okay.
Well, Arsenal suddenly it feels like they're doing well in terms of possession, but there's always a threat on the counter from the Portuguese. Although not if they're going to knock it straight back to us like that. Xhaka to Ceballos. Ceballos looking for Bellerin to carry it, but Bellerin's not really looking to get beyond his man. Ceballos looks to switch it back to, that's a poor ball. It escapes Gabriel, but he manages to catch up with it. Fortunately, there wasn't anybody in a position to take advantage there of what was not a good pass, nor a particularly impressive attempt to pluck it out of midair.
Well, the pass was awful. Who was it? Ceballos.
Completely misses. Well, okay. Gabriel passes it back to Leno to Luis to Gabriel, and back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, the bad pass is coming. You haven't got there yet.
Ceballos again.
I have to say, Martinelli has yet to impose himself. He's been on the field 2 or 3 minutes. Don't think he's touched the ball yet.
Yeah, but then you could say the same about Martin Odegaard. Hasn't touched the ball for about 5 minutes.
I mean, he's directing people where they should go, Odegaard, but
he's got to get in this game. He's not in the game at the moment.
You can't just wait to have the ball come to you. You gotta go after it. Like, we need another goal.
And a great break. Fortunately, I think that's gone out of play already, has it? No, they.
Terrible.
Oh yes, they have.
What are you doing, Pepe?
Why is Leno holding the ball? Substitution coming for the Portuguese again.
Yeah,
have they got 11 subs?
subs?
Yeah, you're allowed 5.
Yeah.
You're allowed 5 in Europe.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. Okay, asks, has Xhaka played a forward pass today?
Yeah, I mean, he has, but like he hasn't been great.
Hi, Karen. Are you enjoying the game?
And Greg G says it's like every pass it's like every pass turns Xhaka inside out. He's so slow. FFS.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm not being funny, but the fluidity seems to have gone out of the midfield.
Yeah,
well, our midfield or theirs? Ours.
Ours.
Yeah.
Well, Smith Rowe's not there.
But Xhaka and Ceballos are not controlling this game the way they did against Leeds.
But that's partly to do with the way that Leeds play.
The back four are struggling to get the ball out. Come on.
Tierney stepped away from one challenge. Gets the ball to Pepe. Pepe looks for Xhaka. Xhaka plays the ball forward and to Tierney. Tierney's in a superb position, and his cross is absolutely terrible. Goes directly behind, under no pressure whatsoever. Anybody would think Tierney wasn't fully fit.
Oh wow!
That is a lovely link up between Pepe and Tierney.
Yeah, you got a cross coming in a second.
That wasn't very good, Tierney, but I'll forgive him for that.
Chiquinho is coming for Verissimo. So, 5 minutes to save our season. No, not quite that.
Maybe about 9 minutes.
Xhaka and Gabriel regain possession. It goes back to Leno. Leno to Luiz. Luiz to Partey. Partey to Luiz. Not very exciting. The Portuguese have dropped off again, it seems to me. They're not pressing our centre-backs at all, which is allowing us time on the ball. But their goalkeeper's come out with a brave one, controls it with his gut. That could have been another one of those red cards like Leno's one. If he misjudges the bounce, but he doesn't.
Whatever you like. I didn't see. Hope you're well. Because he had.
Did he just touch the ball
with his gut
outside the box?
With his
That's
gut.
what it looked like.
Yeah, he can do it with his gut. He just can't do it with his hand. Pepe and Tierney coming down this left flank. Tierney turns back. That's disappointing. I didn't want him to go back there. I wanted him to look for the ball for Pepe.
Thing is that there is a lot more space on the right, which they've just gone to, and in the middle. They've got to try to
offside
utilize.
Against Saka.
Okay, so yeah, I see Tierney turning back to Gabriel. Gabriel to Xhaka.
Saka was clearly offside. I don't know why Bellerin's complaining there, because Saka is definitely offside when that ball is played. Oh.
Yeah, he's clearly offside.
Saka is really fading.
This is an away fixture for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Saka is really drifted out of this game as it's progressed. He was firing on all cylinders around the 20-minute mark. Certainly the best player in the first half for Arsenal. But he hasn't been able to impose himself in this second half in the same way. Oh, poor ball from Bellerin, puts Ødegaard in trouble. We lose possession. 3 minutes of normal time, just under to be played, plus whatever stoppages. There won't be a huge amount of stoppage. 2 or 3 minutes, I would imagine. There have been a couple of injuries.
Substitutes. You've had 5 substitutes. That's 5 minutes almost.
Well, they were supposed to add. At one point, they were suggesting 30 seconds per sub, but they definitely aren't doing that anymore. Because there've been games with 4, 5, or 6 substitutes in the second half, and you haven't seen the appropriate amount of stoppage time. There have been a couple of injuries as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see 3 or 4 minutes tops. It won't be 5, unless something significant happens in the next 2 minutes. But remain of normal time. The Portuguese seem quite happy with this 1-1, to be honest with you. They came out firing at the beginning of the second half, looking as if they wanted to win this game. But since Arsenal have gone ahead, on away goals, the Portuguese are quite happy to sit back. The ball's back with Leno, who's happy to sit on it. Knocks it eventually to Gabriel, who's also happy to stand on the ball for a while. We're trying to get Benfica to come forward. Wasn't a great ball from Leno to.
Odegaard's he's gone to sleep on this game now. What are you doing,
because he's just standing around waiting for the ball to come to him. Like, he's got to go after it. He's got to run, tire himself out.
Ball out of our area.
Wow, 3-3.
Rangers. Yeah, Rangers have got a third away goal. Our two subs. Guess who it is?
Fuck's sake! I mean,
Oh,
Ebony. Switch off now, please. El Neni is
don't
coming on
swear.
for Danny Ceballos.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'd rather
suspect
listen.
Saka
I'd
is
rather
going-
El Neni than Krusty the Clown.
Well, here comes Krusty for Ødegaard.
Oh, for crying!
So
Really?
that's a minimum of 5 minutes injury time. Probably going to be 6.
You know what? I'm
If
hearing
they
a
were
lot of
separate
Arsenal
subs, you
fans
might be
say,
right, but they weren't. So it definitely won't be more than 5.
I'm hearing a lot
I
of
think
Arsenal fans. Sorry, I'm hearing a lot of Arsenal fans saying that in Willian's contract he has to play, or Arteta has to bring him on. I don't know how true that is, but
That can't be true.
No, it's got to be true. It's got to be.
I'm just thinking
4
that
minutes. How do you get 4 minutes?
I told you.
4 minutes.
4 minutes. You've had how many substitutes?
But they were at the same time, Tony. So, if they're in
No,
pairs,
it
that's
still
half the
takes
time.
longer to sub 2 players than it does to sub 1. Every player has to be an amount of time.
The last double sub for Arsenal did not take a minute,
Thank you,
let
Polo.
alone 2.
I didn't think it was true anyway. I just think that Arteta chooses Willian to justify his wage, but
So
What's the
1
bet?
minute of
What's the
stoppage
bet?
time already down. El Neni to Xhaka, who Xhaka gets caught in possession, though he manages to win it back, and then we go back to Luis, and we build again.
What's the bet that
Gabriel.
Willian will fall over? No, Mrs.
Oh, it's Pepe who gives the ball away cheaply.
Come on, guys! You've got 3 minutes of this, man. Don't let us down.
They give a free kick against Bellerin because the player flips the ball up as he runs past him, and it hits his hand. He has nowhere to go, and his hand is by his side, so there's no way that one's a handball as far as I'm concerned.
You're damn right, Greg. I'm losing it.
Apollo, stop flashing that goal thing. It's driving me up the wall.
I think you're trying to tell us to update the score, but that's not that score was what 33 minutes away. Will there be another chance? At the moment, I'd almost be quite surprised, and if it was to come, I wouldn't be particularly confident as to say who it would be for.
Oh. Okay.
It doesn't play on YouTube. I'm gonna go look how much subscribers we have.
Arsenal break down the left. Pepe gets a cross in. It goes straight through to Saka. Saka back to Bellerin. Bellerin back to Saka. Saka looks up but just knocks the ball tamely into the box. And we start again. We're into the final minute of stoppage time. That we haven't had a chance really of note since the equaliser, I don't think.
That was close by Pepe. From my angle, anyway.
7 Benfica players in the box when Saka played that ball in. 7. Why are you playing it in? You can't play the ball in when you've got 7 red shirts in front of you. You just can't do that.
And we're into the final 28 seconds now. It would be ridiculous if either team was to get a goal. The Portuguese are taking as much time as they can over the goal kick. They pushed everybody forward.
Dear, that was mighty. I'm going to leave you guys because I've got another Zoom to do. So enjoy yourself, guys, with your player ratings.
Sorry for my language. It won't happen again.
Take care, Apollo. Take care, Vincey.
See you, Tony.
We're out of time. The final whistle's gone.
Well, Kyron's gone, so we can swear now.
Is that how it's going?
No, I'm not gonna swear.
Unfucking acceptable. No, I'll start it off. We needed to win this game. Away goals is what we needed, and I cannot believe it.
Let me know if you want to do
Okay.
player ratings.
Yeah, yeah, I'll do player ratings. I'm so disappointed.
we could have been 2-0 up in the first half, or 1-0 up in the first half actually. But I still think that it was more ball to hand before their penalty, as opposed to hand to ball. Willian, none. Well, Willian was only on for like 3 minutes, so I'm not gonna really give him any score. What's his
This
name?
game, Arsenal should have won this game at least 2-1, if not 3-1.
Yeah, I'd say at least 2-1. We just didn't create a lot of chances in the second half, and this is why I always say that we are we've gone back to being a first half team like we were under Emery.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I mean, I think we did enough to win the game, which is the part that frustrates me the most. In the beginning half of the season, I was frustrated that we weren't even creating chances to whereby we could say, "Oh, Arsenal deserved to win the game." It was like the best that we could have done in a game was to get a draw. But I felt that Arsenal did enough where they could have won the game. Not being clinical enough, some silly mistakes. Is yeah. But I mean, all we have to do in the second leg is we just have to win. No draws. We
Yeah,
can't
otherwise
draw
we're out.
this.
Otherwise we're out if we lose or even draw.
Well,
Yeah.
a nil-nil sees us through. To be fair, so you could argue that the most important thing in the next leg is that we keep a clean sheet. We keep a clean sheet, we go through.
Yeah, that's
Can
true.
you see us getting a clean sheet in the return?
Yeah, I don't think that's impossible. But I don't think the
Yeah.
Portuguese did enough here to say that they were a devastating threat. But they
Yeah,
are
that's true.
prepared to punish our mistakes. I mean, they've only scored because the ball has flipped up and hit a hand. I think that it's another one of these penalties that years ago you would never have seen, and I don't think that's what a penalty kick it should be. I don't think a penalty kick should be awarded for that. The player hasn't attempted to play the ball with his hand without intent. The law is just ridiculous. If a ball can be struck from that distance and a penalty is awarded. So
I
yeah,
think. So sorry, Mark.
I don't think the performance. I don't think a clean sheet is impossible. I'd say it was actually more likely that they will fail to score than that they'll score two. I think the key is to keep the clean sheet. I think Arsenal are better at keeping clean sheets currently than they are scoring against decent teams. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
I think the referee is under pressure by Benfica to give the penalty. That's what I think. But I mean, from when I started watching, they were quite impressive. Passing movement was really good. But then we did create chances. We could have been maybe 2-0 up in the first half. Didn't happen. Aubameyang, I don't know how he missed his first chance. My 75-year-old mother could have actually put that ball in the back of the net. That's how easy it was. And Aubameyang could have done better, but and I just think that we allowed Benfica a little bit too much in the second half. We kind of switched off, and certain players just weren't in it in the second half. But it's one of those games where we could have actually won 2-1, 3-1, but we've got to do it in the second half. And the thing is, we always make it hard for ourselves. And the fact is that the return match is going to be on neutral ground as well. So it'll be I'll be very interested to see, how that plays out.
The good news is we have scored in the away leg. I think it was a disappointing result. I don't think it was a terrible, performance, but the creativity was. I expected more chances to be created in this situation, but more than that, Alba's had 2 really good chances to score, and he hasn't hit the target on either occasion, and that's not good enough. I mean, in fact, possibly you could argue he had 3 really good chances. He had the 2 shots that he missed the target, and the one where he tried to check back and ran straight into the defender. It's been disappointing. It has been. On another day, Alba scores 3 goals from those 3 opportunities. However, the captain was not on form tonight, and will be disappointed with his evening's work. I want to get off relatively quickly, so shall we go for some player ratings? Miss, what do you reckon?
Yeah, Leno, I'm going to give a 7. I thought he had a good, solid game. Apart from the penalty, which obviously wasn't his fault. Didn't do anything wrong. Is back to kind of consistent Leno, so I give him that. Bellerin, I'll give a 6.5. I thought he had a good, solid game. Sometimes was caught out of position, but had some great movement. We're trying to create chances there on that right hand side. Luis, I'm going to give a 6. And Gabriel, I'll give a 6 as well. 2 good, solid games there for me. Again, sometimes got caught out of position. Gabriel still likes to come out of defense and really bomb forward to try to intercept situations. But apart from that, and Luis always looking to get in the box, there's not much I could criticize there. Cedric, I'm going to give a 6.5. He got an assist, but there were times in the game defensively he kept getting caught out. But there were moments in the game I thought he had a really good, solid game with some of his passing, obviously with the assist. I liked some of the work that he did. Ceballos, I'm gonna give him a 6. For me, he had a pretty much Jekyll and Hyde performance. There were times in the beginning of the game you thought, okay, great, he's playing well. But then as the game went on, just not really taking control of the game. But then still managed to kind of give those kind of intricate passing. But overall, I just thought for the full 90 minutes, you didn't see Dani Ceballos there. He was just in the game in patches, but I think a 6 is a solid performance. And Xhaka, I'll give a 5.5. Similar to Dani, but I think that he got caught out in a lot of situations, particularly when Benfica were trying to hit us on the counter-attack. Saka, I'm going to give 6.5. I think he tried a lot of times to try to create things. Had, I think, only one shot on target and obviously scored the goal. But overall, wasn't as much in the game as I thought he would have been as well. Odegaard, I'm going to give a 5.5. I thought he was okay. I thought he worked hard. Went missing for large parts of the game, but didn't do anything that was obviously wrong. Smith Rowe, I'll give a 6 overall. Worked hard, tracked back, but did give away the penalty, which I know it's the letter of the law, but I don't like it. And then Aubameyang, I'm going to give a 5. Thought it was a real average performance. Should have put at least one of those chances away. Just not his game. And that's it for me.
Okay, can I go next? Because I've got to get out of here.
Yeah. Okay, go for it.
Thanks, guys. Leno, 7. Like Naomi said, he had a solid game. The penalty was not his fault. His pot luck with penalties. I thought his distribution was on point for most of the game, but there were times when he was dawdling for me. But I give him a 7 anyway because he was solid. Bellerin, I'm going to give a 6. I just wish that he'd defend more, because he is a right back. So, I wish he'd actually, do some more defensive work. Louise, he was okay. A 6. I feel sometimes he tries to get too forward. There was a bit of backwards, sideways from him. Gabriel was slightly better. I give him a 6.5. Some really good interceptions. Cedric, he was really good. I give him a 7. Ceballos, yes, did he get the assist? He did, didn't he?
No.
Yeah. Oh, that was Cedric.
No,
Yeah.
Cedric got the assist.
Yeah. Ceballos, missing in patches, but otherwise, he did well with a couple of interceptions here and there. I give him a 6.5. Xhaka, 5. The only really good thing that he did today was that slide tackle. Apart from that, he was just the old Xhaka, backwards, sideways. Sorry, but that's how he is. I'll give a 5.5. He went missing in the second half. He almost put it on a plate in the first half, but then after the second half, he just went missing. So I give him a 6.5. Smith Rowe wasn't his best game. Yes, he did give away the penalty. I still maintain it was ball to hand, but I think you can see the hunger there. So I give him a 6.5. Aubameyang, sorry mate, but you got to do better with, you've had two clear chances, especially in the first few minutes of the second half, where you could have actually scored the goal. And then in the second half, instead of actually passing it to someone who's better placed, if he could, he decided to, try some trickery. It didn't work. I also thought that, he went missing the second half in large patches as well. So I'm going to give him a 5.
Okay, thanks for those, Ebony. Apollo has given Leno a 6, Bellerin a 5, Louise a 6, Gabrielle a 6, Cedric 7 was his man of the match, Ceballos 6, Xhaka 5, Saka 6, Erdegaard 6.5, Smith Rowe 6.5, and Aubameyang 5. Listening to everybody else, I mean, Leno didn't do a lot wrong. I'm going to give him a 6.5. Bellerin should have had an assist. His captain let him down. He did everything right. I don't think the Portuguese did an awful lot of attacking on either flank that particularly exposed either fullback. So I'd say Bellerin, I think that's a pretty solid 6.5. Luiz and Gabriel also pretty solid. Neither responsible for the goal. And decent, solid performance. Cedric, I think, it's got to be at least a 6.5 to a 7. I'm going to give him a 7. I think he was solid defensively. Created the one chance from which we managed to score. It was unfortunate to be removed. I don't think we looked, I don't think actually Kieran Tierney offered that much more when he came on. But obviously, it's good to see the Scot coming back to fitness. So we're still pleased to see him come on. Ceballos puts in a good ball, a few decent passes. There was a key pass through to Bellerin in that situation where Alba really should have given us the lead. There's a couple of other pretty decent passes. There was also some pretty poor passes from Ceballos. It was a mixed one. I think 6 is a reasonable score for him. Whatever Apollo gives Xhaka, I know I have to give him more. It's just on principle. Unless it's a negative, unless he gets 8 or above, which I don't think has actually ever happened. So if Xhaka's been given a 5 by Apollo, he's got to be worth at least a 6. And that last ditch tackle was quite impressive. However, he did also play a pretty poor ball, which got Cedric and Louise into trouble.
Yeah.
So I think a 6 is the most I can give him.
Yeah.
For me, Saka is still Arsenal's most effective player on the ball. Some of his movement, some of his ball carrying, some of the interchanges between him and Bellerin were most of the, I've covered most of Arsenal's best moments in the game. Most of them involved Saka. He scores the only Arsenal goal of the game. How he's only got a 6, I don't understand. He did diminish as the second half wore on, which is understandable given how many games and how many minutes he's now played for Arsenal this season. But I think that he is, for me, still man of the match. I'm only going to give him a 7, but for me, he's still man of the match because he's the most effective player on the team for Arsenal, constantly carrying the ball, constantly carrying a threat. He carries the ball in the build-up to that goal. The ball doesn't get through to Smith Rowe, but he is the player playing the ball, that's carrying the ball in that situation. So for me, I've said this for the last few weeks. He is the most important signing that Arsenal made in 2020 by a country mile, more important than Aubameyang at the moment. More important than Gabriel or any of the players we brought in. He is the star at Arsenal. I hope he continues to shine bright and develop. Odegaard, I thought he didn't have a superb second half. His stats in the first half in terms of pass accuracy were really impressive. They were not as impressive in the second half. I don't know what the final figures were, but I know that his accuracy, he gave the ball away on 2 or 3 occasions at least in the second half. I think he dipped. And at the point where we had theoretically pace and a threat on coming from both sides, in the last 10 minutes, I didn't see anything from Odegaard. There was one attempt to flip a pass in just before Alba came off, but there was nothing for Martinelli. And nothing for Pepe in those last few minutes, which was a real shame.
Yeah, I agree.
We come to Smith Rowe. I think he's very unlucky on the penalty. I think he had a pretty decent game, and I think Arsenal looked more disjointed when he left the field. But I can only give him a 6 because, not only did the penalty come about because of the ball hitting his arm, he is also the player who should have been picking up the man on the corner. So there's 2 reasons why that's not so impressive from him. I think he switched off for a second, and in that situation, it was a shame, but that's the reality. Alba, well. He gets himself into the right positions. He gets himself into positions that you don't think other players. I'm not sitting there thinking, in every one of those chances somebody else gets there. I think 2 of the 3 chances he has today, he's the only man at Arsenal who would have been in those positions. And no, I don't think Lacazette would have had the pace to get into the positions.
Yeah.
I don't think Eddie would have had the composure to finish them. So I have to say, I think, getting yourself into the position is somewhere between 50 and 60% of the job. But what he did with the rest of it was really disappointing. I think a 5 is actually quite generous because of who he is, because of his ability, because of he's the captain. He let down most clearly. He let down Bellerin in this game because Bellerin did absolutely everything right, and gave him a pass that he really could have taken a touch and put it away.
Yep.
He didn't even need to hit it first time. And in that situation, you have to say it's disappointing. It is really disappointing. So yeah, I don't think any of the subs particularly had a great impact. It's nice to see Tierney come on. There was a couple of times when he carried the ball, and I thought we were going to get some threat. I thought he had more impact than either of the other 2 subs, either of the other 3 subs actually, because we got Willian, Pepe, and Martinelli, and between them, none of them did anything particularly exciting. I think Pepe probably had more touches, but they weren't particularly threatening. I'm pretty much done. Do you want to go through Nye's ratings there?
Yeah, Nice giving Leno a 7, Bellerin a 6, Louise a 6, Gabriel 6.5, Cedric 7, Xhaka 5, Ceballos 5.5, Saka 7, Odegaard 6.5, Smith Rowe 6, and Oba a 6. Cool K is also giving Leno a 6, Bellerin a 4. Wow.
How's he given Bellerin a 4? Did we concede any goals? Did we concede any goals from anything that Bellerin did? No. Did Bellerin fail to get involved in an offensive way? Cool, K man. You need to stay cool. How Bellerin's performance is as bad as Aubameyang's? Explain that one to me. That's come into the studio and we'll have the discussion. But personally, I think you're voting on his modelling or his hairstyle or something other than what he did in the football match for these 90 minutes, because the boy had a decent game. I'm not having that. I'm not letting that one go undefended, and I'm ready to leap in on one more as well. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah, he gave also Louise a 6, Gabriel a 6, Cedric 6.5, Ceballos 6, Xhaka 4,
Xhaka 4 again. How he's given Xhaka a 4 and Aubameyang a 4. I saw one really bad pass from Xhaka. I've seen 3 opportunities for Aubameyang to score, of which he's taken none. So either you need to be giving Aubameyang a 2, or you need to be giving Xhaka a 5. There is no excuse for giving Xhaka a 4, apart from people carrying feelings. Look, get over it. It's he's still here, right? And he's still an Arsenal player, and those ratings, they don't make no sense. And as for the man who scores the goal getting a 5, well, yeah.
No, you can't give Saka a 5. You gave Odegaard a 6, Smith Rowe a 6, and Aubameyang a 4. Which, to be honest, if I had to do my ratings again, I'd give up Aubameyang a 4. Cool K also goes on to say, Mark, sorry mate, but Bellerin needs to go. His blind in the final third end of. I think that's the typo there.
No, it makes sense, except it's not what happened. Was he blind when he picked out our £50 million striker on the far post with a perfect cross? It didn't look very blind to me. It looked like it was perfect vision, having taken the ball into a dangerous area with a great run, superbly timed, and great distribution. Was he blind when he hit Thor's hammer in the last game? Cool. I'm all about opinions. You're entitled to your opinion, and when you're wrong, I'll tell you, mate, you're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Bellerin wasn't a 4 today. Like, at the very least, I think he deserved a 6. Like, the bare bones a 6. And then I think in regards to Xhaka, he says, Mark, how many forward passes did you see Xhaka make? Come on, make us laugh.
He's not playing as an attacking player. He was playing as a defensive midfielder, and that slide tackle for a crucial interception. He's not playing. If it's Ødegaard, if he's playing in the position that Ødegaard's playing, he doesn't play the ball forward, then you've got an argument. He does play the ball forward. There was at least one really good ball in the second half down the left-hand flank. I've forgotten at which point. But he did play the ball forward, and I saw one of those comments, and I commented on it at the time. But yeah, mate, 4. You're carrying feelings. It's not to do with today. It's to do with some previous event. Some people are honest enough to hold their hands up. I know Apollo is very harsh on Xhaka, and he knows he's very harsh on Xhaka. And if you're carrying feelings, let the world know, and we'll accept. But there's no way that the most disappointing performance today was not Xhaka. The reason we failed to win this game today was not down to Xhaka. Alba had a great game at the weekend. He had a bit of a stinker tonight. Without Saka, there's no way we get a result today. He was our most effective carrier of the ball, and he scores a goal, and people are giving him 5s. Can we? If you're carrying feelings before your ratings, can you put I'm carrying feelings against this list of players? So you need to take them with a pinch of salt. I know that every time Apollo judges Xhaka, I have to, it's Apollo. Okay. I understand. You know, I've been there too. I mean, you know, we've all been there. Those of us that have been following this team for long enough. And to be fair, I really was not impressed by Xhaka. And you know, he's had some really poor times for this team, but this is not one of those poor times. You know, wait for him to have a really shit game, and then you can give him a hard time. But yeah, it's been an interesting evening. But I think at the end of it, Benfica are actually happier than we are, despite the fact that we have got, in theory, the better result. But it's better to have a 1-1 away than a 0-0. But yeah, I mean, they'll know they've been quite fortunate to score, and we really should have scored 2 or 3 more. So yeah, that's the reason why we're disappointed. And you've got to look at the man from Gabon and say, mate, you need to do better on Saturday, or you need to do better against City, or we are seriously going to struggle.
Completely agree. And this kind of leads to my final thoughts. If, like, in the second leg, we have to take our chances. Like, we really do. You know, if I'm Benfica, I'm thinking, you know what, all we need to do is score 2 goals, and then Arsenal, like, everything is up to Arsenal to really do. So I mean, right now Arsenal just need to win the game. We win the game, we're fine. Or if we keep them to 0-0, then we'll be fine. But we just have to be thinking, go out there and win the game. So hopefully Arsenal will be more consistent. Aubameyang will have his shooters boots on, and we won't need to have this kind of conversation. And we could be talking about going into the last 16 of the Europa League. But what are your thoughts on the final thoughts?
Final thoughts for me. If we can keep a clean sheet, we go through.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a team capable of playing for a 0-0. So
Yes,
we've got to go out and dominate the game, and we've got to aim to win it, because you can't aim with this team. You can't aim for a 0-0. I wouldn't want a team that could. I wouldn't want to be managed by Mourinho and know that all I have to do is to avoid conceding and my team goes through. I would like the trophies that Mourinho's won by doing it, but I would rather not win them that way. So my final thoughts: if we don't panic. This is a 2-legged tie, and at the halfway point we have the slenderest of advantages. But we also look like a significantly better team than Benfica. All we have to do is take the chances, and we will win. If we can take our chances, we will win.
Exactly.
But yeah, I suspect we don't have to win it. We just have to play like we did and not make the sloppy mistakes. So yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see. We'll see more coming forward. But for me, yeah, the boy Saka, despite some people's ratings, certainly is the most exciting prospect that this club has had. Well, who was the last player with as much promise as Saka? In terms of completely homegrown, not known, completely the last completely homegrown player that has the kind of level of promise that we're seeing here. Wilshere, Apollo says.
I think he's better than Wilshere. To be honest, like Ian Wright said that he was a generational player. And I probably have to agree to that. Because I've never seen any teenager come out of the academy and hit the ground running and do it consistently. Like I mentioned Fabregas because last season Saka he was the first teenager to get double-digit assists since Cesc Fabregas. He's a brilliant player. He really is. I hope we could keep him for a long time.
And they put some stats up on BT Sports. They were focused on Saka's input, and he's had 3 shots, 2 on target. Was very close to getting on the end of that cross from Bellerin as well. Actually, I think he actually lets it go across him. I think if he probably should have attempted to get on it himself, but when you see your captain coming in that situation, you think, oh well. It's going to the
Pogba's
man.
gonna
It's going to
handle
the
it.
best man in a slightly better position. I reckon Saka. The way things are going for Saka at the moment, if he sticks out a foot, he probably squeezes that in either side of the goalkeeper. But yeah, it's been a disappointment. I've just seen how good the pass was from Gabriel to send Alba away when he checked back, and he just didn't need to check back like that. He just didn't need to. He needed to take that on and squeeze it home, but
Mhm.
them's the breaks. It's 25 past 10. It's been an interesting evening. You were first in, the Omis. I think I got in just after you. We're not too disappointed, but hopefully there's more to come. So anybody who's still following, please click the like, click the subscribe,
Yes.
join us on Facebook on Arsenal 101. Thanks to Apollo for putting the platform up there. I hope you're on your way back to being able to keep up. I mean, you probably will never be able to chat as much nonsense as me, but hopefully soon you'll be able to come and hold your end up and justify your abuse of Xhaka in person. But I look forward to seeing all of you. I don't know if I can bring myself to be in the studio for the next one. Apollo says link for the Facebook page is in the comments section below. So if you're on YouTube, you can find the Facebook group in the comments section. It would be great to see a few more of you. Even if some of the people that we get, I find myself arguing with them and their ridiculous expectations. I've been Mark. He was Neomis. Apollo's in the background. I'm out of here. You got anything else to say, Neomis?
Yeah. Nope. Just have a good night, everyone, and see you next time.
Cheers, Greg. Cheers, Nye. Take care. We'll
See
be
you
back.
guys.
Up the
Peace.
Arsenal.